country's move or digital transformation to electric mobility. And I think we'll go through this phase of hybrids, but we're going to end up with battery electric vehicles. Living with an EV in South Africa today is very possible, so it can only get better. So I think that adoption curve that has to happen gets steeper and steeper and steeper the longer we wait. And it gets to a point where the tipping point will make it so that our ICE vehicle fleet in South Africa starts to age because we won't be able to get any new ICE vehicles. Now, we also manufacture here. Over 60% of our production is exported, which means that Europe's not going to want our ICE vehicles. The South African economy is not enough to sustain our vehicle production. We don't have the demand. I mean, we're not a very big economy. So therefore, given that over 7% of our GDP goes to vehicles, and I would argue that it's actually higher and probably closer to 20% because that 7% only takes into account new vehicles. What about all the other parts of the industry that are shackled to second-hand car sales, tires, all those things? I reckon it's north of 7% of our GDP. So it's a very important part of South Africa's economy. And if we're not careful, we will then become another Australia, because Australia lost all their vehicle manufacture. Well, I think they gave it up, but now they import all their vehicles, which is an expensive exercise. And then we've also got to be careful we don't become, I think it's Brazil, we don't become another Brazil, because Brazil was saddled with aging vehicle manufacturing technology. I think they still manufactured the old VW microbus for a very long time after everyone else stopped doing it. So we need to move this country in that direction, and I think there's a lot of things we can do besides only giving up government giving up taxes. I don't think the government has to give up taxes. I think they just need to restructure it in a way, use corporate business. If we don't move very quickly in the next 12 to 24 months, we're going to see an aging fleet of second-hand vehicles in our country, which is also a recipe for second-hand car price increases, because there's only a certain pool. New cars have to feed into the used car pool. And there's other things that the government can do and the country can do besides just lowering taxes, and incentives. The government can restructure things so that those taxes are still there. I mean, everybody has to agree that taxes are an important part of any economy. I mean, the government is the biggest business in the world, and it's the biggest monopoly in the world. So I think our platform, AutoTrader, the independents, and my voice in trying to drive the country's move or digital transformation to electric mobility. And I think we'll go through this phase of hybrids, but we're going to end up with battery electric vehicles. Hydrogen vehicles spoke about a lot. Clean energy, yes, but can you imagine trying to put up hundreds or even thousands of hydrogen filling stations? Do we even have the pipelines to do that? So battery electric with the electric infrastructure that we've got has to be the future. And we can't buck the trend of the rest of the world, because South Africa is not an island.